The passage is lined with stone walls, damp from the evening fog, and the underground steam boiler used to heat the tenements above. Barrels line the walls and seem to occupy every available space in this underground storeroom. Cane rats scurry and squeak in the corners, kneading at their nests. The air is stagnant, full of dust and mold. A ways off, there's a sound of a pump house at work, no doubt channeling sewage into the Thames. There's a dim light ahead. Perhaps you can find help, or at least a way out of the stranger's grasp. Old crone, on your guard now. There's no telling what's down here. I've seen the worst of the underground in my days. If trouble comes, I've got my blade and a silver tongue. Hello, sleeping thug. A 30-something cove, writhing on the cobbles. Must have had his fill. If he was on guard, easy to get by him. Or bash his head in. Might be safer that way. Let's bash his head in, or but he's only shickered beyond reason. Besides, maybe I know him. Or just leave him alone. Yeah, I'm gonna go with but he's shickered beyond reason, and maybe I know him. Can't remember his face, but that's one thundering night terror he's having. Anything in his pockets? On second thought, I've been there. Wouldn't want my pockets picked by it while I'm sleeping off a bender. I'm gonna be a nice minotaur. This is a wholesome playthrough. Thievery doesn't suit me anymore. There's bound to be something else nearby free for the taking. Is there? Well, there's a wooden coffer. Red cedar, paneled and cornered with iron. A sturdy but time-worn container. No need to break into everything. What am I, a minotaur or a magpie? Rooting through the rubbish in hopes for a little tin, just like my scavenging days. Yeah, this is scavenging, not stealing. Diamonds in the coal and flash in the cobbles. That's the old limerick the urchins would sing. All these sounds are dripping through the pipes. The scurry of rats and the gears in your skull, spinning out the past. Christ on a high wheel. It's a high wheel. Also called a penning farthing. The high wheeler was the first machine to be deemed a bicycle. Oh, right. One of those big old-timey bikes. Would you open the box already? Yeah, let's smash it. I failed. Temperament is the representation of your character's mental state, progressing from desperate, weary, content, optimistic to hopeful. Your choices can change your character's temperament. Certain dialogue choices are only available based on your temperament score. As I strike the lock, a jagged bit of rice drives into my skin. I'll leave a mark, but I've suffered worse. And what great treasure is this? I see, I lost some hope. Trousers with a bib sewn across, and a pulley zipper fastening. The head torch runs on a copper coil battery. There's boots and breeches, and the waistcoat has enough pockets to carry a dining set, but to be sure, it's a sandhog uniform. Yeah, let's try it on. Obviously, it's gonna fit a minotaur. So what if I tear the seams? It's not like someone's missing this pile of rags. The shoulder flaps will have to hang loose, my chest being too wide to snap the buttons down the placket. Let's force it. That's what I'm good at. Just gotta force it. Emptying my lungs, I abandon the brass buttons, reaching instead for the torso belts. They fasten at the very last punch hole. Alright. This could be the sign to lay off the swill a while. Aye, maybe so, the source of many troubles. If I quit outright, I'll keel over. Better start with one less drink a day. Yeah, I'll try. One less a day, I can handle that. Now, I used to be quite a drinker myself. I could not handle that. I had to go cold turkey or nothing at all. Don't be so sure. The naysayers will gab as they please, but I'm ready to change. That's enough maundering. Get on with it. Not exactly worthy of Petticoat Lane, but in the shadows it should do the trick. Yeah. Fun fact about Old Man Sugarheart, I'm 7 years sober. I stopped drinking when my kids were born. It's just kind of hard to balance drinking and my usual shenanigans. The length of braided horsehair, stale and hardy and salable. It's bitter, but brittle, but with a proper tie it'll work. Yeah. I've just got a hunch that I should be picking up everything I see. A battered crate moldering in a sewer grime. I have this mask on. It should keep out the dust. Smash it. Fun fact about you, you've never drank alcohol? Well, that's good. That's especially good if you're above 21. Glumchum, I am proud of you. It's a very expensive habit. Like, when I think about the amount of money I would have if I never bought any alcohol, it would still be zero because I would have spent it on something else. Animal instinct. A well-aimed fist cracks open the crate, but my hobnail gashes my wrist on the way out. Ugh. I should stop doing animal instinct. It's only a scratch, but it'll mend in no time. Alright, let's have a look. That must be like my sandhog mask. It's actually kind of a good look. There's something with a dull shine to it. It's a pry bar. I can make good use of this. If I step over here, yeah, you can't get a good look at the Sandhog uniform. That's a shame. Ooh, gears and cogs. I could hawk these to an engineer, yeah. Alright, well, with the pry bar, I can probably sneak through this. I've got a tool to open this. The rope should do it, or the pry bar? Yeah, pry bar. It's a manhole cover. What else would I do? Bully! That steel bar was the ticket. Just need a little leverage. There's a latch compartment below the manhole cover, but it's padlocked too tightly to break. That's a capital lock. I'll need a key. Keep looking. My fumbling hands come up empty. How about I reach in the back corners? Yeah, sure, why not? Stone the Crow's bloody cane rat bit me. Must have a nest. No chance that rat's getting the best of me. Out-rat him. You're almost getting to 30? Well done, Glumchum. I remember going drinking with a 30-year-old who had never been drinking before. Carried him home and he told me he loved him. Or he loved me. That was great. But, you know, good on you for not drinking. There's a lot of peer pressure for people to drink. It's a little ridiculous, really. The saddest part about quitting drinking was there was this lady I work with who's an absolute alcoholic, but she likes to bake. And when she bakes, she just uses loads of alcohol. It's like she'll bake cookies, and you can just taste like the rum all the way through them. And so, like, she used to go to work and be like, "I made cookies," and I'm like, "I quit drinking," and she's like, "Oh, well, you can't have these then." And then she just starts scarfing down her own cookies. And I'm like, "Oh man, alcoholic snickerdoodle sound awesome." She was a delight. No chance that rat's getting the best of me. Steeling myself, I reach inside again. Yeah, fight me, rat. Bully! It's a £1 banknote. Yay! I got $1. At last, a bit of fortune. It's torn, but it'll do. Alright. We'll go deeper. Watch it. There's somebody on the stairs. With that head torch, he could be on patrol. I don't suppose he takes kindly to trespassers. He's coming double quick. Where can I hide? There's a pool of shadows at the back of this hallway. Ugh. I'm not a charlatan, so I can't do this. I'll have to fight him if I have to. His uniform is stricken with unspeakable filth, and even with my goggles on, his head torch is blinding. He smells worse than the sewer walls. Must be a bilgeman. Hey, yo, Sandhog. Presumption in his tone. Does he not care for sandhogs? I won't take it personally. I'm not a sandhog anyway. Was that Sandy? Mumbling to yourself? Did I say that out loud? At least he hasn't noticed my ill-fitting uniform. What are you doing this side of the tunnel? Shouldn't you have your head in a hole somewhere? Better lie, it's safer. I'm down here on official sandhog business. You wouldn't crib, dog. At the toss of his head, he laughs into his breathing tube, and light from his head torch glances off the cobbles. Whoa. Sorry there, Cove. I'm whooping at your expense. But it's just so difficult to imagine a sand pig with a delegation of duties. Drill here, drill a bit there. Simple, ain't it? You don't know the half of it. Oh, I see what I've made a mistake. I made the text extra big to help people read this. But now, like, when somebody says something, it, like, scrolls way past what he says. Here's what I know. Your ankles are showing like a cherry bride. Your sleeves are all out, all but shredded. And what's that you're carrying? An evening cane? Shouldn't be a basket of drill bits. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. You know, I'm curious about sewer work. You ever have time for a rundown? That's queer. I never knew a Sandy that was so curious. You sure you're a tunnel rat? Alright, you got me. I'm no sandhog, but you don't frighten me. I'm running from someone much more dangerous. Alright. Well, sorry, that's what I said. You don't know the first thing about danger. Trespassing down sewer as if you own the place. I'm calling the hounds in. Unless you turn tail like 60. Right about now. Wasn't the reaction I hoped for. Suppose the fickle truth can fail, and a dire course of action is warranted. Before you get hot-headed, take a look at this. Your character has gained the intimidating trait and will now be able to select dialogue options that require this trait. Oh, look at me, I'm all spooky. Point me out of this cesspool. Just finger in the right direction. My blade harkens blood should he try anything smart. Alright. You follow this passage, there's a grate that needs refastening. Been meaning to fix it, but aside from the way you came, I swear it's the only exit. At last, a decent answer from a less than decent man. Sure as sight. Sorry I stopped you. I'll just have to squeeze by, I suppose. Be seeing you. Steamer trunk. Brass banded traveling trunk with sturdy corners, fit for long voyage. It's out of place down here. There's tin inside, I'm sure of it. Let's see, 50%, 43, 79. Well, the padlock has a carbon steel shackle and pin tumblers, triple reinforced. Yeah, I got a pry bar. I pry with the pry bar. What's this? A bottle of gin I've yet to try? The fates have been kind to me for once. Especially kind as they also provide me with lots of capital. And a few cigarettes to round out the package. Bully! It's not every day you get this stuff for free. Alright. It's a robot. Furnace automaton. Speak up. Who disrupts the air? Sandog business. Please clear the way. Believe me, I wouldn't hold you back. It's nice to know another workman. Then you must know the operations down here. It's about these barrels along the walls. No doubt they're being used for smuggling. Of course I know what's going on, but since you were so slapdash to bring it up, I need to make sure you haven't been peaching. Informing upon squealing. Oh, that's right and fly. The name's Hera, if it helps. File any reports you might need. I'm built to improve. The letters Hera are blazoned on its chest plate. Press for information. This area reeks of the dockhounds, even worse than the sulfur in the bilge. What's going on? Ha! You must have noticed these barrels. They're really quite capital. The hounds are distilling their own gin from the heat of my boiler, and somehow the Sherlock tenements upstairs haven't caught on. Those people must be freezing. It's only autumn now, but it feels like midwinter. I'd rather have the extra gin. Brings down the price. And we can always deal with a little cold. A lot of my oak came up from those tenements. I shouldn't face the dockhounds alone. It's hard enough keeping my own head above water. Aye, they won't be so easily swayed. Bootlegging is a regular tin press. Let's see. About these barrels. The steam gets siphoned and the barrels come and go. Some are fresh and some have stood for several months ready for a swiller. The machine is keeping track. Automatic circuits indeed. When the flame is healthy, I turn my attention to the walls. Before I know it, it's whirring away. It's a queer feeling. If the hounds are stealing steam, then it's good reason to steal some of their bootleg for myself. I'm not fit with a virtue circuit, but if you're convinced yourself, you're clear of any moral infidelity. I mean, like, there is a guy with a gun nearby. I'd rather know the way out aside from heading back upstairs. Over there's a grate that leads to the sewers. Barring that, nowhere else to go but the way you came. To the sewers, then.